We are here on Love the Beat Radio. I am your host, Masai Lincoln, and I am joined by none other than 50% of the brains of the sweet science, Samuel Dark Knight J. How are you?
Yes, very well, man. Thank you for having me tonight.
I asked you last week because we met for the first time. You're from Swindon, right?
Yeah, so I'm from Swindon, grew up in a small village called Chiseldon,
Okay.
southwest of England. So yeah.
Yeah, because obviously we met last week at the top tier boxing event, which was great.
Yeah.
And I met you and Faz, and you guys built this sweet science together. So like, what actually is it? How did it get started? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I guess me and Faz, we are both students of the game of boxing, and we met at our amateur boxing gym, and we were so part of our amateur boxing gym. We have a lot of fighters turning pro. So at one of the shows, we kind of came to kind of a mastermind. Like, listen, we need to start documenting this because we're always having chats with each other to say, the sweet science. We're breaking down the craft because we genuinely like it, enjoy it, and we're like, oh, did you see how he did this? Did you see how he did that? It'll be really interesting to hear what his thoughts are. It'll be really interesting to hear his preparation because we're close enough to the fighters to really like value that type of information. So out of that, we birthed the sweet science, and yeah, man, we've been trying to keep consistent and we've been enjoying it thus far.
Well, yeah, I gotta say, because obviously I interview a lot of fighters weekly, and I think what you guys were doing are great because I got to the event and I've done a lot of interviews, I've done a lot of this and that, but I've never been to an event. So I was I don't really know what I'm doing that well. I don't know them kind of thing. And you guys have such a professional job. And obviously as someone that works in television production and I've done a lot of live shows just in general, I was very impressed by what you guys were doing. So what is the goal? So is it kind of like, do you guys have a goal with this? Is it what you guys want to do full time? What is the sort of end goal? Is it just a sort of passion project?
I think I don't think you can necessarily say there is an end goal.
Yeah.
I think the onus is both of us. We have a passion to document the fight game, and we do that in different forms. Interviews, press, behind the scenes. And I guess we're also trying to create a new space, and an insight into the game, which maybe fighters, because we're a platform for the fighters, and I think they give us just as much love, to whereby it makes what we do so easy. They're super welcoming. So massive respect to the fighters. So yeah, end goal, there isn't really one, but we're enjoying the journey, and we're just trying to add value and really give a space and a platform for fighters to talk, which I don't think there's enough.
There's not enough.
Yeah.
You almost can't have too many. Keep going. I'm just seeing if they're still recording.
Sure.
Keep going. Keep talking.
There's not enough. I think there's a lot of, punditry. There's a lot of analysts, but where do the fighters really get to talk and sit down? If it's not mainstream media,
Exactly.
But is there, especially for the and I think this what's key to bring up is we're trying to bring to light the guys who are coming through, because they're the ones who they don't get the time of day.
They don't get the shine.
They don't get the time of day, and there's some really good talent and great stories behind some of these fighters, which I think that's really cool.
And to your point, I feel like that's what makes what's part of the reason what makes fighting so exciting and so great is because when you have like an emotional attachment to a fighter or the storyline, it's like, wow, I'm interested, because you can watch any show there are world-class fighters everywhere, do you know what I mean? But when you know, oh well, this guy was training with that guy, and oh man, I knew that his story was he went into a boxing gym when he was 10. It's like it gives you a bit more of a connection to them. And you're right, there's not enough of that. There's so many fighters that go under the radar, whether they don't promote themselves enough or they, like you said, they don't get enough attention until they're a star.
Yeah.
It really does make a difference. and in turn, I feel like for us as media people that want to do it, them giving us the time, it's like priceless, because without them, we're just a bunch of random guys talking about fighting. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And I think part of sales is selling a story, and the story is what you go down a story. You're now engaged.
Yeah.
And I think it's that engagement which maybe not a lot of fighters see the need for as well. And I think that's actually
like
sometimes
self promotion.
Exactly.
I feel like I feel like on a lot of fighters it's lost on them.
Well, it's I wouldn't say lost. I think it's just not their
main focus.
Exactly.
Which it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be,
because they're all about the craft. They're all about the work. But when you see the business of boxing, it's like, no, you need to get your personality out.
Yeah.
You really need to.
Yeah, you need to. There are
make some noise, because
I agree. Like, because it's not just the best fights or the best fighters that say necessarily sell tickets and have eyeballs on them. It's the personalities. Some of the best fighters of all time are not necessarily. They've never. Sorry, let me start again. Some of the best fighters of all time have not necessarily connected with the audiences because they're not the most exciting style. We don't know a lot about them. But when you think of those guys that are, great fighters and great personalities, they have it all. Do you know what I mean? They have that X factor which can sort of put them into the sort of A-lister, and they can in turn sort of, it improves their boxing career when it comes to endorsement deals, when it comes to money and pay-per-view sales. You know what I mean? It's so important. I mean, it's easy for us to say it, but it's so important for these fighters to actually promote themselves and how good it is for their career.
So true.
Yeah.
We look at the GOAT of boxing, Muhammad Ali. What a character.
Yeah.
What a personality. He had an aura of just him alone, just speaking and what he brought to the table. He was so much bigger as a fighter, and I think actually he is the model when
he transcended boxing.
He transcends it, and I think it's fighters should be on that level to whereby the world is getting to know you because you're putting your body on the line for the world's entertainment. So I think it's actually very important to understand what narrative are you pushing across, and a lot of these guys are quite deep characters as well. So there's more to them than just strong individuals.
Yeah, you literally took the words out of my mouth. A lot of people that don't follow fighting, you'll look at a lot of these guys, and these guys are just brutes. They're beating the crap out of each other. It's not, but it's skill. It's an art. You know what I mean? Fighting is just
the sweet science.
It's the sweet science. Yeah. So are you just interested in boxing? I mean, do you like MMA? Because you said
I'm a lifelong martial artist like mindset, and in that I do disciplines like BJJ, a bit of kickboxing. Obviously boxing is my foundation, but there's so much to the game. I love MMA. What the UFC are doing is great promotion. And
so what's your favorite sport, like in terms of MMA? Like, not MMA, what is your favorite just combat sport?
Boxing is my foundation. Boxing is the truest form, but the comprehensiveness of mixed martial arts is great, and you can see so much skill, the skill level and the craft when you're watching MMA. From the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, from Muay Thai to kickboxing, it's really cool to see. Are you a big follower of?
MMA is my favorite sport. I mean, I love boxing. My favorite fight, well, I guess I'd have to say Conor McGregor, because he got me into MMA. I didn't know what it was until he was on his sort of rise. But I have so many fighters that I love watching. Do you know what I mean?
What about what do you think? Do you think Conor can come back?
I think he is going to come back. I think he'll either come back for this White House card, or he'll come back this year.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to come back. I mean, to be honest, he could have retired 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, after he beat Eddie Alvarez, if he had retired after that fight, people would be like, oh, well, he's one of the greatest of all time. And I think he is, but I mean, obviously he had the fight with Floyd Mayweather, then he fought Habib, and then he was off again for like a year, and then he had COVID. So it's funny how things play out. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he come back. I think he will come back, but yeah.
I think Conor is also an interesting case study, because I think people don't understand just how talented he was, just how in his heyday when he was wiping out the entire
Mm.
division, but then he starts stepping up, and I think people you have to respect the guys who step up and dominate above their weight class, because you're giving away too many advantages: size, reach, natural strength. So I think he stepped up, as you said, the Eddie Alvarez. He was 145, went to 155, and there was a slight gap, which was when the Mayweather fight came in. And I think at the top level, winning is really marginal. And I think his focus just slipped. Obviously, the money.
Yeah, 100%. What I think is that Conor McGregor at featherweight, he was absolutely incredible in the UFC, 7-0. But to be honest, he was way too big for featherweight. And I don't mean I'm not calling him a weight bully, but the weight cuts were brutal. He goes up to lightweight, beats Eddie Alvarez in an all-timer fight. But to be honest, I mean, if you look back in time, I mean, hindsight is 2020. But he beat Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah.
Khabib was next. Khabib should have been fighting Eddie Alvarez before Conor, so it should have been that. But then he fights Floyd, but people will criticize him for that. But he made $100 million to have a boxing match. You can't.
You can't. Prize fighters at the end of the day.
Yeah, I say that all the time. They're prize fighters, and then he comes back. He fights Khabib. Maybe the preparation wasn't great, but for me, Khabib's the greatest lightweight of all time. I don't care. There's no one in history that's going to beat Khabib. It doesn't really matter. Like, the only thing that I could criticize Conor for is the inactivity. I think when he lost to Khabib, I know hindsight is 2020. What really he should have been doing. He should have said, okay, 6 months, 9 months later, I'll fight Tony Ferguson, and then I'll fight Khabib in a rematch. That's what he should have been doing. Yeah. But like you said, when you get that much money, when you don't need to fight anymore, your focus slips. It's just part of fighting.
And I think styles make fights as well. And I think Khabib's style it's a nasty style for anyone.
It's not just his style. For me, Khabib is the greatest.
And he's obviously class.
Yeah,
he's obviously different.
Khabib is the greatest lightweight of all time. And what makes Khabib so great is you know what he's going to do, but you just can't stop it. There's never been, in my opinion, he's the greatest pressure fighter in MMA history.
Wow.
Him and Merab, but I think that he's better than Merab because he will hold you down.
But Islam,
Islam's a better...
In terms of records and what he's currently doing in the game now, he might actually... achievements. If we're going off achievements, Islam...
he's already surpassed him in achievements.
Exactly. So
I think Islam is a better, more skillful fighter than Khabib. However, it's weird. This might not make any sense. I think Islam is a more skillful fighter than Khabib. However, if they fought, I'm betting the house on Khabib because he is a better wrestler than him. Islam's a better striker and he's got better cardio than Islam.
But Islam's got hands though.
He's got hands, but look at some of the great strikers that Khabib has fought. He's fought better strikers than Islam. He's fought Conor, he's fought Edson Barboza, Dustin Poirier, and Justin Gaethje, and he beat them all with ease. I think
he got hurt with Barboza though.
He did, but then he drowned him.
He drowned him, but
that's like, for example, and this is not even a slight on Islam because I think he's the best fighter in the world. But look at when Islam fought Alex Volkanovski. That was a lot of people think Volkanovski won that fight. I thought it was a draw, but in my opinion,
fight, the first one,
Volkanovski is not doing that to Khabib. It's just not happening. It's just not happening.
And also, he's small.
He's 5'6".
He's coming up.
He's
massive.
But I mean, that's not even a slight.
Like Islam's a massive compared to him.
And like he's a 170 pounder really. And Volkanovski, but to be fair, Volkanovski is just that good at MMA. Size almost doesn't matter. He didn't lose that fight because of size.
Yeah.
Islam, I think it was a draw personally, but it wasn't a bad result. So yeah. But yeah, more about you. Okay, so you've competed before then, yeah?
Yeah.
In what? In boxing?
In boxing, still competing.
You're still fighting?
Still competing. Obviously, it's hard to get fights here and there, calculations. But yeah, man. As I said, I'm a student of the game. Of fight game. So, I'm in the gym, and I guess this is where I'm able to like cultivate good relationships with fighters. I get them. I see their journey.
You get it. You're one of them.
Yeah. Well, but also I'm close enough to relate and resonate. A lot of these guys, it's just massive respect because these guys are doing full-time jobs, families, comes evening in the gym, 2 hour sessions, repeat repeat 5 days, 6 days a week.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Um,
I think that as well, because it's just like the dedication you have to fight is just. That's why I feel strange when I watch a fight. Sometimes I look at a fighter and think. Sometimes as well, like they could have done more, they could have done that. The game plan wasn't right, but I always feel odd criticizing. I don't like saying, "Oh well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that," because these guys are so good. But it's hard to criticize. But then sometimes
it's different.
I would never ever give. Oh well, he should just knock him out, because it's not that simple. Do you know what I mean?
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
There's levels, genuine levels, and I think across this rule applies everywhere, right?
Okay.
In terms of your average, you know, attendee for something versus the guy at the top of the game competing with the best of the best. I don't know if you played any sports previously.
Only football, but not a good,
football. Okay,
not at a good level.
Okay, well, like
just for like my Sunday team and school team.
So
yeah.
So football was my first love, right?
Yeah,
and
same.
So I actually tried to push for football.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, and when I was because I always played at a decent enough level.
Yeah.
But when I really tried to push,
like academy level.
So I was in the academy.
Oh really? Oh okay.
So after academy level, you're trying to push for in the pros, and even at top semi-pro level, the standard is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Training with the pro level team, I quickly realized, like, if you're really trying to go down this path, you not only have to be, all in, you just have to be very gifted and for it, like built for it. And that was actually part of my journey, actually, how I ended up in the boxing gym. It's like I failed at football, and the next place I found myself, I was just like, do you know what, I fancy a fight. I end up in the boxing gym and like instantly fell in love.
Yeah.
It was just like, it's so, and I was more built for that sport than for football. And that's why I see, like, oh wow, that's probably a story like a lot of people. They're doing something and they're putting all the hard work in, but it's just not working for them.
Right.
But they go into another field and all of a sudden doors are opening, it clicks. And it's just like, whoa, you're actually built for this, And I think, so I come back to levels, like the average person understanding the degree of skill for fighters especially when fatigue comes in, because that's when you get exposed. And are you going to be able to slip that shot, a needle through a haystack? That's what these guys are able to do.
Yeah.
Now,
it's a mental game as much as it's a physical one.
It's chess.
Yeah.
100%. It's chess. But it's not called championship rounds for nothing. 8 to 12. That's when it tells the story, the discipline, because fatigue exposes you just as life exposes you when you're tired.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fascinating.
It is fascinating. Yeah. So when you've been sort of doing these interviews and stuff, you're just sort of doing them at events.
Correct, but we also get a chance to, because as I said, we know these fighters on a level sometimes, to whereby they're like, yeah, do it behind the scenes with us.
Yeah.
And it's cool, and we go on journey with them, and we get to get a bit more insight into their strength and conditioning, into maybe some of the events they have, into their nutritionists, what they're eating, what they have to eat in order to make weight, press sponsors, doing their,
How do you okay, so when let's just say at an event, that day we're going to speak to a fighter, and how do you do your prep? Do you, like, what goes into it? Do you go, okay, I'm going to look at their record, I'm going to look at their last fight, maybe when I last spoke to them? How do you do your prep? I'm interested.
Do you know what? I shouldn't really say this, but I don't do too much prep, Okay. I try and watch their last fight. Okay. And I want to see. I've now done my my prep really, because now I'm seeing, okay, that's now I want to see, are you going to be exactly the same? Are you going to change? So yeah, I watch their fights. I come on fight night. I interview them, and really it's gauging what the fighter is wanting to talk about, because they might be wanting to talk about the next guy. Yeah. Like, okay, that's interesting. Or they might be wanting to talk about, man, did I get the finish in Southpaw, switching from orthodox? Beautiful. Okay, talk to us about that. What was you've been working? You absolutely been working on that. Like, my coaches have been literally drilling me, do X, Y, and Z, and it just kept. That's where you see, like, okay, that's where that's interesting. Because they're telling you about their journey within the lead up to that fight. So for me, I try and go with the flow with fighters and allow them to express themselves and where they want to take the conversation.
Interesting. So do you listen to a lot of like post-fight interviews and sort of fight podcasts in general? Do you sort of consume a lot of that content?
Not too much. I used to, though. I did used to, but I just don't have the time for it. Right. I just don't. But I definitely try and keep tabs on just generally the fight.
And when you say that, do you watch like a lot of fighting?
Yeah, love it.
Just in general. I don't just mean like lower level. Like
you're watching... love it. From we're just talking about MMA. Like, I'm looking forward to the Israel Adesanya fight.
Oh, against Joe Python.
Yeah. That's going to be a good fight.
Well,
looking forward to that.
The fights this weekend in boxing are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Warrington versus Wood, the rematch.
Yeah.
Barrios versus Garcia.
Yeah.
And there was another good fight. I can't remember who it was. Was it? I was listening to some of the interviews earlier, but yeah, I know Garcia's fighting Barrios. Lee Wood versus Josh Warrington, and there was another big fight this weekend in boxing. I can't remember who it was.
I know we just had the press for Fury, didn't we?
Yeah, but that's in like March or April.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Do you know
Fury's return.
Well, he was never retired. I think Tyson Fury, I think, is great for boxing. I love that it's on Netflix, which is just great. And I just think, I can never pronounce his name. He's from Dagestan, isn't he? This guy that he's fighting.
Yes. I'm not going to butcher the
name. I can't remember who. But I watched his fight against Dave Allen. I thought he was very good.
Yeah,
He's got a good chin.
Yeah.
He's durable, and he's got good cardio. I think, it's a good fight for Fury. I don't know. It's strange because obviously Anthony Joshua, after the Jake Paul fight, was obviously calling for Fury. Then he has that tragedy with his friends. But AJ is saying this week he wants to come back for the summertime. Eddie Hearn was saying this week.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he was saying that AJ's going to come back in the summer.
Oh, really?
It probably won't be Fury. They would like it to be Fury. But at the moment, we're just going to see what happens. I think he'll probably want to get a tune-up fight, AJ. But to be honest, that's the fight I want to see. I'm not really... I mean, Usyk's cleared out the division at the top. I mean, Dubois, they just announced Dubois versus... he just fought Joseph Parker. Fabio Wardley.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be
so I'm glad that the division is kind of moving on.
Fight.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Dubois versus Wardley, what do you think?
Wardley is
tricky.
He's a tricky character. Like, he makes me smile because he is the underdog. He is the epitome of the underdog.
And
never write that guy out.
And he came to boxing late. He came
to boxing late, but he's got hands of steel. And he's got durable power. And what I mean by that, you see his double fight what he had with what's the name?
Joe Joyce?
No. The British domestic, but they had
domestic dust up. Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't Joe Joyce. It wasn't.
It's late, guys. I
oh my god! Do you have your phone on you?
I'm coming from work.
That's really gonna bother. Do you have your phone on you to look it up? Because I'm using all these to record.
I'm forgetting this guy's name.
But do you know what? Whilst you're looking it up, can I just say the Fabio Wardley fight against Joseph Parker? I thought that was a terrible stoppage. Terrible. If you look it back, he's defending himself and he's not hitting him at all. It's an awful stoppage.
I think the lead up to that, you're right. I agree. It could have been.
It's not Wardley's fault. It's not. Yeah. But it's just I thought that was such a bad stoppage. Such a bad stoppage. I just thought,
yeah,
we've had it, and I
it
felt so.
It definitely could have gone on.
And I felt so bad for Joseph Parker because if you remember, around this time last year, he was meant to be fighting Dubois. Dubois pulls out. We don't really get an explanation, and then Dubois gets the title shot against Usyk. How is that fair?
Yeah.
Joseph Parker should have been fighting Usyk. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just, and then he loses that fight to Wardley. He gets the ban for cocaine or whatever. Now he's probably not going to get that Usyk fight. It's just like so disappointing. I think. Do you know what I mean?
So true. I'm just trying to.
Did
you know what? That's gonna.
That is really gonna. I could have sworn it was Joe Joyce, but I guess I'm wrong. It wasn't Moses Atama. It wasn't. It was another British fighter as well.
That's really that's.
He found it.
That's Fraser Clark.
Fraser Clark. Oh my god,
Fraser,
they kind of look similar. That's why I got kind of.
Yeah, the late one. But yeah, Fraser Clark.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So you see durable power on display with Fabio Wardley because you couldn't separate them in the first fight, but you saw Wardley hurt Fraser multiple times and vice versa. Now you get into the second fight. There's wear and tear on a fighter. Every fight is taking juice from you.
They're never at 100%.
No.
Yeah.
Well, like every fight takes something from you.
Yeah.
So the durable power, what Wardley displays, comes out. One, obviously, his tactics are spot on. I'm just gonna jump on you. That tells you about his mindset. That he backs himself a lot, and then though the shots what he hit Clark with, he was able to take them for 12 rounds. How, I don't know, but he was able to take them for 12 rounds previously.
Yeah.
It was round one. What was it, second round? Was it second round stoppage? Was it the first?
I think it was like second off. It was early. It was so early. It was in the first 3 rounds, definitely. Yeah.
So early, and he fought beautifully. So I think Wardley has now got confidence, which is a massive thing for a fighter. And I think he's going to come into, and Daniel Dubois is coming off a loss, obviously. So he's going to be in high spirits.
Yeah, he's going to be confident.
He's the banana slip in the.
And he's probably thinking there's not as much pressure on me because Dubois. I still think Dubois is a great heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? I know he got knocked out by Usyk, but Usyk's the best.
Great heavyweight.
Okay, what do you think about? I was going to say because of that. And also, another factor when you talk about Wardley and Dubois fight, a lot of people forget that it's heavyweight fighting. Anything can happen. One punch changes everything in heavyweight boxing.
I say that all the time, man. People laugh at me when I say it. Like, heavyweight boxing is a different sport.
Yeah.
Genuinely. It's a different sport. And the reason I say that is because, obviously, boxing is head trauma. Okay?
Yeah.
So the size of the brain it's quite small.
Yeah.
In different sized human beings, the size of the brain is not that much bigger. But comparatively, body size frame, it can be drastically bigger. So you're saying the same rules and measures apply for almost the same brain size, which is being repetitively hit. You're telling me now you add 200 pounds on that, and it's
what's like getting hit with a baseball bat?
Absolutely, yeah. But you're adding 200 more pounds on it,
exactly.
And people wonder why, it only takes one shot in the heavyweight division. So that's why I think it's different, and that's why you have to respect the cruiserweights which come up through heavyweight, and sometimes they find that out in the ring. Yeah. They're like, oh, I thought I can
hang with these guys.
I can, well, not even hang. I thought I could box.
Yeah.
But then they get hit. Boom. It's like, whoa.
It's the equalizer.
It's the equalizer.
But that's what's for me so impressive about Usyk, because he's gone up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been an issue for him. And he's beat the biggest hitters, and he's beat the 3 best heavyweights in the division twice. He's lapped the division.
Usyk's
It's incredible.
Generational talent.
He's a generational talent, yeah.
Generational. He is.
I remember watching his fight with Tony Bellew. I was in a pub, and we were watching it, me and my friends, and I genuinely was like, when he knocked out Tony Bellew, I was like, oh my god, he went limp, and I was just like, that was unbelievable. But it's just pure skill.
I think it's his ring IQ is so underrated. He is
He's just a different level.
He's like Chat GPT, IQ, figuring out okay, and it's minute. Like he's just slipping just enough that you're missing that jab, and he's just off the line, and then he's using his footwork allows him to create different angles to get off his shots.
And he's always on his bike.
He's always on his bike, but you say that. I think he's always changing the tempo of his and the velocity of his shots. And what I mean by that is, for 2 rounds, he would touch you.
Yeah,
he would touch you, and then when he sees an openings, he won't go straight away, and then boom, all of a sudden he sits on his shots, and then he lets rip. And that's what happened with him and Dubois. Like for the first couple of rounds, Dubois was almost fighting Usyk's fight because Dubois like bouncing and he's matching Usyk's energy, which he shouldn't do because now he doesn't really fight like that. But he's getting tired. He got tired, and all of a sudden Usyk,
the momentum.
Now he starts to sit on his shots, and the man's got power.
Yeah,
he's rocked AJ. He's rocked Joshua. And then he's rocked Fury.
He hit him on the ropes.
He's rocked he stopped Dubois. Like people underestimate how much power he has, but that's also his IQ.
Yeah.
When to and what takes people out is the shots, what you don't see. And I think that's also because, and that helps with the timing, right? That helps if you're just being touched, right? Your brain is configuring this is no danger.
Yeah.
And then bang.
Yeah.
Like your brain is gonna go to
It's kind of like it might be a silly comparison, but you know when you stub your toe, you're not expecting that pain, so it hurts more than it should. But if you actually ran your toe into the thing, it's actually not that painful. But it's that pain you don't expect.
Exactly.
It really catches you off guard, and I think that's the same in fighting.
That's the one. But Usyk manipulates that. It's like insanely good. Insanely good because
he's the best.
And while he's doing that, he's creating different angles and he's figuring you out and he's exhausting you.
Yeah.
Because he's just moving and you're just like where is this guy? And he's southpaw too, which makes it even more awkward.
All right, I want to ask you about because you know a lot about boxing. Who do you think are some of the best prospects in boxing right now? And I'm thinking along the lines of like Moses Atama. Like who are we looking at where Moses. Some of these guys, I'm like, wow, this guy is so good. Like, who do you think we should be looking out for?
I think there's too many. I genuinely do, and I think that's why it's hard to say. It's hard to say because it's only until those fighters start to have they're under the big lights, and then if they can push on from there, right? Okay, now we can start talking about what's their future going to be like. But some of the Moses and Tom, great talent. Obviously Shakur Stevenson.
Wow. But I feel like he's arrived now. I mean,
he's definitely arrived.
He's a champion at 35 and at 40.
He's a full-time, I think, division weight champion.
Yeah, I mean,
he's. But in terms of that's what I mean. That's where I go. There's so much. The talent coming up is ridiculous.
Yeah.
What I want to see is what happens when you're in there with an elite operator under the lights. What happens? Let me see that. And so yeah. But there's definitely.
I mean, for example, like I'm a big fan of Abdullah Mason.
Okay.
Shushu Carrington.
Yeah.
What's his name? He's from Norfolk, and then he fought recently, but then earlier last year. He had a fight cancelled because he missed weight massively. What is his name? He's like same weight class as Shakur.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man, I'm terrible with names at the minute. But yeah, those kind of guys where you're like, they're not quite champion yet, they're not quite there yet, but I'm just like, wow, these guys are on a different level.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you one guy who I saw. What's his name? Ezra. Wait, what's his name? 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
So you continue to talk while I find this guy.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of blue chip prospects coming up in boxing, and I feel like it's a lot of they're all across the divisions as well, because it's not just heavyweights that you see in here, but it's these guys in these lower weight classes as well, which really excite me. I just hope that we get a few more like British fighters coming through, because sometimes I look at some of our fighters, I feel like can they compete with some of these American and Mexicans that are coming through? Do you know what I mean? At the elite level.
Definitely.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Definitely. We've got
Like who?
We've got loads of people coming through. Obviously, someone I know, Lucas Roerick, who's working with George Groves. He's coming through. He's going to be an exceptional talent. I know Lucas, good guy, super talented, genetic powerhouse in terms of athletic abilities.
Yeah.
He's in the cruiserweight division. Watch out for him.
Okay.
He's going to be coming through.
Because I kind of sometimes feel like some of our best British fighters haven't competed with the elites. They'll be champion, but then they'll get to that elite level and they never quite do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because I mean, the talent pool is so deep, but I just feel like sometimes in certain weight classes we have some of the best fighters, but then they go up against the elite, and then it's a different ball game. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's hard.
It's not easy, obviously. It's not even a criticism. I just feel like, wow, the talent pool in America and Mexico and it's so deep.
But I think it goes back down to styles make fights, right?
Yeah.
And I think where our European, especially in the UK, we are great going forward. We are forward fighting. But on the back foot, that's where we don't get drilled that from grassroots level.
Okay.
So, whereas in America, they're more comprehensive. They are across the board, right? Defense first, defense, back foot. What are you doing? Back foot. When you got your defense sorted, right? Now on the front foot, okay, we can go and that's the difference between
a great fighter and an elite fighter.
Because I think when you get tired, that's when you need your defense the most.
Yeah.
Because your hands go down. But if you haven't been drilled that, so you've got the Soviet style,
yeah,
Usyk kind of
Bivol,
you know, which is
Lomachenko when he was fighting,
which is fantastic because again the style is you're off the line, creating angles and allowing yourself to press and have openings. Now that style is hard to maintain. That style is
a lot of footwork and a lot of cardio.
It's exhausting. So most people can't do it.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to drill that because they would rather just focus on, a different style, which is more exciting. Whereas I think actually over in the UK, we focus on conditioning. We focus on being forward fighting, but we don't necessarily focus on the defense or creating
the fundamentals,
creating angles like what you would see in a Cuban style or a Mexican style,
a Russian.
Russian.
I feel like you're right, and I feel like it's kind of like a mentality thing in the UK, Britain in general. I feel like one of the reasons why boxing is so popular in the UK is the fans, and I'm sure the fighters and coaches, we want to see a fight. Do you know what I mean? We want to see people scrapping. We want to see blood. We want to see, guts. Whereas that's not necessarily the best way to win a fight. But then, like we were talking about earlier, with styles and excitement, it's not necessarily. I think Shakur Stevenson is one of the best boxers in the world. I love watching him fight. I love watching Devin Haney.
I was super impressed.
I love watching Devin Haney fight, but it's not necessarily the most fan friendly.
No.
Yeah, but at the same time, like we've got fighters in the UK which are brilliant fighters. They're very fan friendly, but they're not necessarily it's not necessarily the best way to win a fight and become the elite of the elite.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're seeing that, right? I mean, Shakur is considering the Conor Benn fight.
Exactly. Exactly. Because Conor Benn, he's a very good fighter, and two, he's got the chat and he's got an exciting style. But realistically, Shakur wins at 99 times out of 100. But I would rather watch. Yeah. I feel like I would actually rather.
I think it's too soon for Conor. I think definitely it's too soon.
Yeah, there are like you said, there are levels. I'd rather watch, to be honest. I'd rather watch Shakur go up to 147 and fight Devin Haney. Two very similar fighters. Two just very top of the food chain fighters, and it's like who's going to be better at playing a chess match. I would rather see that, and it's like you watch MMA as well. How often do you see two fighters that are not necessarily the most exciting because they're both wrestlers. They're both grapple heavy. It's not necessarily fan friendly.
Yeah.
When they fight each other, it's a scrap because it's just like, well, you can do it just as good as I can do. Let's just see who can fight. And I feel like that would be kind of what I expect when I see somebody like a Devin Haney fight Shakur Stevenson. I would love to see that fight. I feel that I care about that fight way more than the Conor Benn fight at 147.
That would be a good fight.
And I think Devin Haney looks great at what I hated him at 135 and 140. He was killing himself trying to get down to that weight. It was horrific. There's so many good fights. Even at 154, Virgil Ortiz versus Boots. I'm just like, that's what I want to see. I wanted to see the best fight the best. I get it in fighting.
I like Boots. Boots is a showman.
He's incredible. I get it in fighting, like we were talking about earlier. We are kind of contradictory as fight fans because we want to see the entertainment side and the best fight the best. However, I do also really prioritize on seeing the best fight the best because I want to know who's the best. I don't necessarily want to know who's the most entertaining. I want to see who's the best and see who can fight. Agreed.
I come back to the style though. The style is, I hear what you're saying though, but I think the style is, and it's the fighter's intelligence to make sure that they don't fight the style what it's their strongest, right? So for example, let's take it back to MMA. Like for me, and my favorite fighter right now in the MMA in mixed in the UFC is Alex Poatan.
Oh, Pereira.
Just lethal. Man's lethal.
Yeah.
And he's quick too.
Yeah.
He's
look at the size of it.
He's like 6'4", but his switch kick, I don't know if you saw it, it was a knockout he did, and he switch kicked and
I remember he knocked him out. He switch kicked Yuri, dropped him, and then he TKO'd him. Yeah.
It was, but the speed.
Yeah, you don't
like
see
people
it
don't understand the speed
yeah.
of how this guy is moving. It's not normal.
Yeah.
And he's got the power. 1, 2. The equalizer.
Yeah.
And even he's got I think arguably probably the best hands in terms of.
Well, yeah, listen, the guy is a glory kickboxing multiple world champion.
He also likes. He also likes to fight. Like he's genuinely. There's guys who can fight because that's what they do. But then there's guys who can fight. That's what they do, but they enjoy it. He looks like he enjoys a fight. I see him sparring without no head guard all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Why?
Yeah. Well, he loves fighting.
He just loves it. And it's just like, well, that guy's a bad dude. Now, are you going to try and stand and kickbox with him? I don't think so.
No,
I think that's a bad idea. Are you trying to outbox Shakur Stevenson? We saw that with Tia. Don't do that. That's a bad move.
Yeah.
But
you got to make it ugly.
People, totally write off Conor Benn. Well, listen, Conor's a fighter. He's good at fighting.
Yeah,
Conor is good at fighting. And if he sticks it on him and all of a sudden brings him in tough water and he can take a few, because that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to take a few to get in on the inside.
And Shakur's realistically not going to knock him out.
Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Because Tio, he was getting discouraged moving forward because of that jab. He was just, every time he moved forward, Shakur was countering with that jab.
Couldn't get near him. He couldn't get near him.
Also, his condition was...
And also,
he wasn't even breathing.
I was talking about this fight beforehand. I think Teofimo Lopez is so exciting, brilliant fighter. But you never know which one of them is going to turn up. A bit like Ryan Garcia. You don't know which one you're going to get. One day they look brilliant. One day it's like, I don't know whether it's a discipline thing or preparation thing. Like you said, styles make fights.
Yeah.
I don't know sometimes. It's like you don't know which one you're going to get. With Shakur Stevenson, fighters like Shakur, Terence Crawford, Floyd Mayweather, they are going to be at their very best and how they're going to fight. Almost to beat these kind of fighters, similar like when we talk about the Dagestanis in MMA, you need to be at your best and you need them to have an off day. That's how I'd sort of describe their fight style. It's just, like you said, that jab, it's so simple, but it's right there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I think we underestimate as well just how good their defense. Guys who, those fighters what you just mentioned, that's what they do.
That's their bread and butter.
Defense,
yeah.
Defense.
I think Floyd Mayweather is the best defensive boxer of all time. Arguably the greatest boxer of all time.
Agreed.
It's not even
agreed on defense. He's and that's discouraging as well. When you can't hit someone, you're discouraging that fighter.
Do you know what it's like? I was thinking about that the other day because I was talking about Floyd and Terence Crawford. In football, it's like when Barcelona are at their peak, they were passing the ball 900 times. If you can't get the ball, it's discouraging. You're just like, I don't want to run after the ball anymore. If we can't get it, we can't score. And it's kind of like that in boxing with that fight style.
Yeah.
If you can't hit your opponent, but they can hit you, you're going to beat them. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in football where it's like, well, if they've got the ball and we can't get the ball, we can't score, so therefore we can't win. And I feel like people, like you said with Teofimo, they get discouraged. It's like, well, what's the point? I'm just fighting I'm chasing my shadows in there, and that's what it feels like. You might not get a beating, like it's not like a beating where you're like, wow. When Terence Crawford fought Errol Spence, that was a beating. But it's not like where Shakur beat Teofimo. It's not a criticism of him, but it's like you'll go in there thinking, I feel like I didn't even lose a fight, but I wasn't even anywhere near him. Kind of like when you see guys in MMA where they get held, like when they fight Merab, he beats them. And it's not necessarily, he's not beating the crap out of them, but you can't stop it. Do you know what I mean?
But that's also the element of fighting. If your endurance and conditioning is there, the engine is there. That's a facility of fighting, which is also an equalizer. You look at the likes of Merab was a great example. Like he was just.
And it's not just that he's got skills. Like he's
got skills.
Yeah.
But okay, let's like.
I agree. I agree.
Even in boxing. Like, give it to like Carl Froch, for example.
Yes. Okay.
The ultimate professional for me. Respect. Carl in his career, he was conditioned and he was disciplined, right? And I think he fought very, very good boxers. George Groves, Andre Ward, with Mikhail Kessler, Lucien Butte, and a lot of the times he wouldn't be outboxing these guys, but he would know what he's good at. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you though.
Yeah.
Like you can hit me. I've got a good chin, and I'm gonna continue coming forward.
With excellent
and you see that,
pressure.
and you see. Because it's exhausting, obviously.
Yeah.
Like this is the fight game we're talking about. Yeah. It's throw a couple of punches, you're gonna be tired. Carl made sure that he was on the front foot for 12 rounds, and that's what he would do. So
simple but effective.
But he used that to his advantage.
Easier said than done. Like where it might sound like we're downplaying it. We're actually praising it because it's just like like you said, boxing's so hard anyway. But to say, oh well, I'm just gonna outwork you. It's easier said than done. Yeah. But their conditioning and their fundamentals and the basics are so good. They got it so down pat. It's just like, we can't beat this guy. Because like we were saying about with Merab, for example, he's not the most extraordinary fighter. Like I think he's arguably the greatest bantamweight of all time. I know he's just lost his belt, but he's not like doing flash knockouts like Pereira. He's not like Khabib where he's taking you down and he's choking you and you can't stop it. He's outworking you and it's demoralizing. And like you said with Carl Froch and other similar fighters, it's like they're doing the basics better than everyone. People like to sort of talk down on it, but if it's so easy, why doesn't the opponent do it? Yep. It's fighting at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You've got to find a way to win. It's a sport.
You've been gifted different faculties, which, are you going to use to your utmost? And, and some people have just been blessed with the all.
Physical gifts.
And
some people have won the genetic lottery.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's the beauty of the fight game. Yeah, you just never know. You just never know.
But that's also what makes it exciting because you never think that this guy will never get knocked out, and then he does get knocked out. He's undefeated. Yeah. That's what makes fighting exciting because you don't know what's going to happen. If we always knew that was going to happen, I would take every pound I have and bet it on this fighter. Yeah. But it's not like that. It's not like that. Before we wrap it up, because I could actually talk to you for hours. But we gotta go. I've been starting to do this thing because have you heard of Letterboxd?
Letterboxd, no.
So Letterboxd is this app, and I don't know if you watch if you're a bit of a film buff, but Letterboxd is this app, and when you make your account, you have to make you have to list your 4 favorite films of all time, and you watch a film. It's like I watched for the first time Jerry Maguire yesterday. Okay. Never seen it before. Brilliant, and I gave it 4 stars. You give it a rating, you write a review, and that's it. But anyway, these guys, Letterboxd, they have like their social media people. They go to red carpets for premieres of films, and
Yeah.
they'll ask actors and directors, what are your 4 favorite films of all time? But now I've started to do this with my guests, and I want to know, in any combat sport, it can be Muay Thai, it can be kickboxing, it can be boxing, who are your 4 favorite fighters of all time?
4. Okay, that's tough. That's tough. All right, okay, that's good. That's a good question. Ali, number 1, just the GOAT, just larger than life character. At a time which was hard. He was all, but he's also extremely talented too. You know, he was great to watch. So and the George Foreman
Rumble in the Jungle.
Yeah, the Rumble in the Jungle. Like you can't beat it. Underdog story. No one had him to do that and to stop him. Brilliant. So that's my number 1. Number 2. I'm gonna have to go Roy Jones Jr. He was a savant in the ring, man. He was just brilliant. He was brilliant. He had it all. He was a showman, and at his best, he was unbeatable. He was just that good. Like you couldn't touch him. But he loved the fight though, you know. And I think there is an art to retirement too. I would have loved to see him, you know, retire, you know, because some of the losses what he took, I didn't think he needed to take them in his career, but you know, he's without a shadow of a doubt one of the GOATs, and at his prime, I don't think there was anyone better. Number 3, this is hard. Number 3. Roberto Duran.
Okay.
Good, forward, tough, just exciting. I think I just like his personality. Fan friendly, yeah. I just like his personality. And then gonna have to put Mayweather in there. Gonna have to. Yeah, he's just great defense. On the back foot, he doesn't get hit. And he walks away with the check. Money May, you know, respect. He's a prize fighter. And then
so that's your 4.
That's my 4.
So your 4, Muhammad Ali.
Oh, so that was 4.
Yeah, that was 4. So you said Muhammad Ali.
Fair. It's good.
Roy Jones Jr., Roberto Duran, Floyd Mayweather.
That's a good.
That's your 4 favorite fighters of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great list. That's a great list.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up, so obviously where can people find you? Sweet Science.
So people can find me, the Dark Knight J, DKJ. That's what I'm known for. So Dark Knight _J. You can find me at the Sweet Science, obviously. And yeah, I'm here documenting the journey, documenting discipline, and yeah, loving life, man. So
great. We'll have to do it again when we have more time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like we could have talked for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. All right.
Are you watching the fight this weekend?
Oh, of course. I'm watching Harrington versus Wood. Warrington versus Wood. I'll be watching UFC.
Yes.
But because by the time that's finishing, I think Garcia is going to be walking to the ring with Barrios, or should be just starting at the same time. So I'll be watching UFC. I'm going to watch the boxing, sleep, watch the UFC, then I'll watch Barrios versus Garcia. So I'm looking forward to that.
Right. Thank you for having me.
Cool. Thank you. No, honestly, it's been great.
Good.
The main man, Samuel.
The DKJ.
DKJ from the Sweet Science.
Yes,
follow him. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate
you, man. Signing out.